Have you ever heard of a beach where, if you go into the water, it burns your skin? Or a beach where, beneath its calm surface, sharks, jellyfish, and saltwater crocodiles are just waiting to make a meal out of you? Today, we're going to dive into the world's most dangerous beaches together and see what secrets and threats are hidden behind those golden sands. So stay with me until the end of this video. Imagine you're walking on the warm sands of New Smyrna Beach in Florida. The sun is slowly setting, and the sea lies calm and still before your eyes. But beneath that endless calm, a whole world of sharks, big and small, are waiting for your first step into the water. That's right. Thanks to its strange record of shark attacks, New Smyrna Beach has earned the title of the shark attack capital of the world. This beach is also famous for its warm weather and great waves for surfing, and many people think swimming in the shallow waters is safe. But that's really not the case, especially if you look at the statistics of shark attacks. Since 1882, when shark attack records started in this area, more than 240 attacks have been reported, and that number is still rising. Of course, not all of the attacks have been fatal, and swimmers and surfers still keep coming back to this beach. Personally, I wouldn't risk going there myself. After all, there are safer beaches out there. But what about you? What do you prefer? Do you want to try your luck? Are you like others, unafraid, ready to step into the water? Now let's head to Mexico to Playa Zipolite Beach, the first and only legal nude beach in Mexico. But things aren't all sunshine and rainbows here, because this beach is also notorious for the danger of its natural whirlpools. In fact, the water currents here have a circular or whirlpool pattern. This means they can pull a person out to sea or toss them back to shore without them even realizing it. So, if we're lucky, the current will bring us back to the shore. But of course, a lot of people haven't been lucky enough, and these currents have carried them so far from the shore that they really couldn't make it back. So if we don't want to put ourselves in danger, it's better to either just stay on the shore and enjoy the view of the water, or first check which way the current is going, or even more wisely, wait until the current dies down and only go into the water if it's safe. Overall, my advice is that if you're not a skilled swimmer or you get stressed easily, it's better to just skip this beach altogether. But if you do get caught in the currents at this beach, experts have suggested a solution. They say that if you feel like you're being pulled out to sea, don't try to swim straight back to the shore all at once. Instead, try to swim parallel to the shore or at an angle so you can gradually get out of the current, and then slowly make your way to a safe spot and reach the shore. You might find it interesting to know why these kinds of currents even exist at this beach. Some people say these whirlpools are natural, caused by the shore's characteristics and river flow rate. You know what flow rate is, right? It's an indicator measuring water current intensity. On the other hand, some locals believe that there's an underwater siphon in the middle of the beach. In simpler terms, it means there's a hole under the water that pulls in anything that enters its current. Experts say it might be a combination of tides and rip currents, that is, currents that move from the shore toward the sea, that cause this to happen. In any case, opinions differ. The Amazon River is famous for its high biodiversity, but at the same time, it's home to some scary residents like red-bellied piranhas with their sharp teeth that can crush skin and flesh, and the green anaconda, which is the largest living snake in the world. There are also Amazonian electric eels that can deliver a powerful electric shock to the body. On land, it's just as dangerous. The Brazilian wandering spider, the bullet ant, the rattlesnake, poison dart frogs, and even giant jaguars are also found along the Amazon River. All of this makes the Amazon an extremely dangerous tourist destination. And as if that's not enough, the area is also full of criminal gangs and smugglers. Because there are so many tributaries around the Amazon, criminals can easily escape this way, and the police can't catch them. With all that said, I don't know what you think, but I'm crossing the Amazon off my travel list. Now we get to Cape Tribulation in Queensland, Australia. It's a beautiful beach, but beneath its calm waters there are lots of dangerous jellyfish, like the Irukandji jellyfish or the bluebottle jellyfish. In fact, If you want to swim in the waters of this area, you absolutely have to wear a special jellyfish-proof swimsuit called a stinger suit, because the sting of the jellyfish here is really painful and, in some cases, can even be deadly. And if you're still not convinced to avoid this beach, I should mention that saltwater crocodiles are also frequently seen in this area. The males can reach up to 5 meters in length and weigh as much as 500 kilos. On the other hand, things aren't exactly rosy outside the water either. In the jungle, you'll come across poisonous trees whose leaves are painful to the touch. And if you come into contact with them, you'll experience a strange kind of pain. It's as if you've been stung. There are also some birds with dagger-like talons just waiting to tear people apart. In short, even though this area has an amazing landscape, it's full of dangerous secrets. Secrets that common sense says you shouldn't go after to uncover, unless you've given up on your life. In 2018, the eruption of the Kilauea volcano destroyed more than 700 homes and left many people homeless. But alongside this destruction, it also created a breathtaking view, a series of black sand beaches that are very beautiful, but extremely dangerous. But before I explain why this beach is dangerous, let me tell you the reason behind the black color of its sand. That way, you'll also understand why this beach is dangerous at the same time. Kilauea is located on the big island of Hawaii, which is the largest island in the Hawaiian archipelago. But the strange thing about this area is that the Big Island is one of the few places in the world where lava rivers flow into the sea. Then, when the lava comes into contact with the seawater, its temperature drops very quickly. And this sudden cooling causes pieces of lava to explode and shatter violently. On top of that, the waves help break down the lava even more, turning it into fine, black sand. Now, let's get to the reason why this beach is dangerous. Kilauea volcano is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. And because this beach is located right next to it, the water temperature can sometimes reach about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 43 degrees Celsius. So if you jump into the water carelessly, you might get your skin burned. Alright, so far we've gotten to know 5 dangerous beaches. Stay with me until the end of this video so I can introduce you to even more dangerous beaches. Let's move to another shark-infested beach. When you think of a beach, you imagine sunshine, fun, and relaxation. But the beach Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean is the opposite. It gives you danger and death. This area with tropical climate and sunny beaches has a population of under 1 million. But in the summer, loads of tourists from all over the world flock there. However, since 2011, this beach has become notorious for shark attacks. It's hard to imagine. Even though the island is only about 65 kilometers long, 13 of the deadliest shark attacks in the world have happened right here. You should know that 13 is not a small number at all, because in the same period, only 3 shark attacks were reported on all the beaches of South Africa. Since 2011, an unusual number of sharks have gathered in the waters around this island, and 20 people have been attacked, 7 of whom were killed. In short, things got so critical that in 2013, swimming and surfing in this area were completely banned. So if you go into the water, either the police will calm you down or worse, a shark will come and make a meal out of you. Changes in warm and ocean currents have caused sharks to migrate there. Some people also say that maybe the fish that attracted tourists there were tempting for the sharks as well. Let's move on to this beach. Hanakapi Beach in Hawaii is famous among thrill seekers. Warnings are everywhere. If you ignore them, things can get really bad. Even though this beach is incredibly beautiful, you shouldn't be fooled by its pretty appearance. This beach doesn't have any natural barriers like coral reefs. That's why the strong waves and currents can drag even professional swimmers out into the deep sea. So far, at least 15 people have drowned at this beach and their bodies were never found. If the sight of wrecked and decaying ships isn't enough to convince you not to swim in these waters, maybe the name Skeleton Coast will do the trick. The Skeleton Coast is located in the southwest of Africa, along the shores of Namibia. This place is full of ships that ran aground and never made it back. You can't help but wonder what happened to the people on those ships. Did they manage to save themselves? Or did they perish in the endless desert around here? No one knows exactly what befell the people here, but the haunting sight of this coast shows that you should never underestimate the power of the sea. Praia do Norte Beach is an awesome but dangerous spot, reserved only for professional surfers. This beach is one of the oldest and most popular coastal areas in Portugal. When summer comes, Portuguese families flock here. Some people just want to sunbathe, but others come to take on the biggest waves imaginable. The secret behind these strange and wild waves is a deep trench on the ocean floor that sends the waves straight toward the shore. But what's the result? Waves that can reach over 30 meters high, that's taller than multi-story buildings. It's truly breathtaking. Even many professional surfers could lose their lives here, let alone anyone else. Up to now, we've talked about dangerous creatures or natural conditions that make a beach hazardous. But the famous Copacabana beach in Rio de Janeiro is considered dangerous for a different reason: skilled and professional thieves. In fact, while this beach is one of the most popular in the world, unfortunately, thieves are also very active here. So, if you're planning to travel to Copacabana, make sure to lock up your valuables or put them somewhere safe, because thieves will shamelessly snatch up anything that's left unattended. From bags and phones to even towels and clothes. Just imagine, after a good swim, you might have to head home wearing nothing but your swimsuit because everything else got stolen. And if your car keys are gone too, well, that's a whole new level of trouble. This beach is almost 4 kilometers long, which gives thieves plenty of places to hide themselves, stash stolen goods, or even hide bodies. The rise in drug use and sex work has only made things worse, to the point where thieves have taken over this famous beach. The locals also recommend that if you plan to come here, don't bring any valuables with you at all. Don't go into the water alone. Keep your child close to you and don't talk to strangers. But if you ask me, out of all the beaches I've introduced to you, Copacabana Beach in Brazil is the most dangerous of them all. Because while our minds might warn us about natural dangers, we can suddenly get caught off guard by people and thieves. But what do you really think, do you? Leave us a comment and tell us which of these dangerous beaches you find the scariest and would never set foot on under any circumstances. If you know of any other beach that's even more dangerous than these, let us know so we can make a video about it too. Remember, the world is full of beautiful and undiscovered places, but what seems safe on the surface isn't always free of danger. A beach that looks like paradise from afar might actually be full of whirlpools, sharks, lava, or even thieves and criminals. So what's the lesson from today's video? Let's keep our eyes open and stay alert. A little excitement is good, but being aware, vigilant, and protecting your life are important.